if I go out there and I act like there's 8 people in the crowd, then people are gonna know there's 8 people in the fucking crowd.
True.
So like
True.
I try to attack every situation like I'm already up. You know what I mean? So like if I'm performing at a show with 20 people, I'm gonna act like there's 10,000 in there. If there's 10,000, I'm gonna act the same way.
Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Soul Serum podcast. I am your gas in the whip but the tank on E host, Clay Bonine. I'm joined by my I came here to chill, but I brought my stick co-host, Tanner Mavis. Oh, we're back again. Episode number 14, baby. We got another interview episode coming at you. But before we bring our guests in, I want to remind everybody, obviously, to follow us on Instagram, like and subscribe to us, the Soul Serum TV page on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, follow the podcast on Spotify if you aren't already. Join the Discord. Vibes, you already know. The Discord's being kind of crazy. Discord's been popping. So if you want to get in on an early level, you better join now. And now that we're done doing shameless self-promotion, today on the show, we have a very special guest with us. I would say that probably most of our local listeners have heard of this guy, and if not, then you probably haven't been paying attention to the scene.
You live under a rock, bro.
He has multiple music videos with the Soul Serum team, and usually he lets his gas talk, but today we got him in the studio to talk himself. We have E the Prophet with us today.
Let's go.
Please, come on, E. Crazy crowd noise. Hello. How are you today?
Great. How about you?
Good. Let me adjust a little bit. Yeah, now we're talking. Welcome into the studio, E the Prophet, man. I'm glad to have you on.
Oh, it's good to be here.
You were actually one of the first people that I did research for before I actually even reached out to Tanner to do the podcast through Soul Serum, because I was like looking at local artists that I thought would be like kind of, worthy of an interview. And I mean, you've put out more music since I was doing the research, but you were definitely on my short list. So I'm really happy to have you in on the show today.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're the penultimate episode, second to last episode of our 2020 run. So this is all very exciting to me. And then how long have you and E known each other? Before we get into you, I'm just curious how this relationship.
I think I've known of E when he played basketball at Lloyd, because I remember my little brother Luke would because they played against Lloyd and y'all were pretty good when Luke was like either a junior or senior. Mm-hmm. And I remember I don't know if I remember seeing you play, but I remember Luke talking about you like back in the day, but like it was like very brief and it's like nothing that actually like registered. Right. It's just something that I thought about like after the fact, but it really started when when Soul Serum like first started. We were working with Pango like mainly, and it was at a time where I'm just like I'm trying to find like any local artists that I really fuck with that I want to work with. Mm-hmm. And I remember coming across, I don't know if you DM me or you DM John, or it might have been me, but like you DM, I think no, you did DM me. You DM me on Instagram a song with you and Jay Dingers, that Untitled One, your first song on SoundCloud, and I heard it. And I was just
still there.
It was his first song he ever put out. I'm just like, bro, these dudes are spitting. Yeah. Like they're going crazy. Like at the time, I was kind of like drawing back. I was like, bro, like we need to go like do something. We need to work with these guys. We need to shoot a video or like do something. Yeah. And that's kind of just like that's how a lot of relationships has kind of like sparked with Soul Serum and me. But like E was very, 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 very early. Yeah. And seriously, like, it's cool to
first music video on the Soul Serum page. Yeah. Actually. Yeah. So that's pretty. I don't think not the first video ever. Right, but
it's the first video ever on the Soul Serum page, but I think really? John's second video. First music video, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Video, yeah.
But yeah.
Before we get into all of that, how you got connected with Soul Serum, what you've done musically, since this is really like your first like long form interview, we obviously have to start off with the basics. So can you just give everybody like a little background? Where are you from, and where did kind of like the music start for you?
So from Northern Kentucky, Ellesmere.
The
So
the schmear. Is that I've been told it's called?
The E. That's what they call it. The E. But nah, I'm from Ellesmere. I'm a local dude. I didn't start rapping for real until about like maybe 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like real into music growing up. I played drums and stuff like that.
Nice.
Learned piano at a young age. All that shit. It was super cool. But I kind of had like band forced on me.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, yeah, if you're going to play these instruments, you're going to be in band. And that kind of ruined music.
Yeah.
I got big into sports, and that this shit all took like a backseat to it for real. And then my dude Jay Dingers, he was like, yo, let's go to the stew. It's $45 an hour. I was like, I'm not paying to record. Like, that's stupid. I was like, oh, I'm not bought into this. I wasn't bought into this shit at all.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, bro, just do it. Trust me. And since then, bro, it's honestly, it's been like it's my favorite thing to do is the music shit.
That's really funny. I discovered who you were. Two things. One, I shot a video for Jay Dingers one time. I think I brought this up last episode actually, but I shot a video for him and Will Thompson edited it. And just from like seeing who Jay Dingers was, I eventually kind of like wound up onto your music as well. But also the first time I think I ever met you or saw you in real life was at the Soul Serum house show.
Yeah.
And it's something that I want to get into a little bit later once we've, done a little bit more groundwork. But I think you had some of the best energy at that concert or at that show. And that's why I remembered being like, yeah, like this guy's pretty hard. I like his music. But before we go there, kind of what you touched on a little bit, I read in the profile on the Soul Serum website from a while ago that like you called yourself an artsy kid. Like you said, you played a couple of instruments as a kid. Why did like music, what made music draw you in more than, drawing or doing some sort of other kind of creative expression?
I think honestly, I like music because it's kind of slept on when people think about like art. Mm-hmm. People think about art and they think about like paintings and shit like that. Yeah. But like music is, I think, the greatest way to express yourself by far, because I mean it's the easiest way for you to communicate is like through word. But I like music because there's like some intricacies to it. Mm-hmm. Like you can change what you're saying and how you're saying it and how you're delivering it, and it's like it'll be like a bar, and like 3 years down the road, somebody will hear the song again, they'll be like, oh, like I totally skipped over that. Yeah. And I just think those moments right there is what really got me, because I was like, bro, like this, it's memorable, bro. Like you think about moments in your life, you hear songs, and you go back to that time.
Facts. Definitely. Yeah. That's interesting. I like how you put that. You like the intricacies of the music, because there really is like the more that you like learn about music and the more that you understand about music, like you do start to find those little intricacies and little details in there. Is that something you think about like when you're making music, like presently? Like, are you thinking about the intricacies when you're like in front of a mic, like writing? Or
so when I a lot of my shit is kind of, I like things happening like raw. You know what I mean? Like I like to go in there and like first time I hear a beat, I'll like find whatever cadence I want to use for it, and I'll like just say like random words. I won't even actually like rap. But no, I try not to think as much as possible because I'm a huge overthinker. It's literally when I'm an overthinker to a fault. Yeah. Like and so when I make music, I try to be like as free as possible. Yeah. So it's just kind of straight off the head, and
it's hard to recreate like a moment of like raw energy.
Exactly.
I understand that. But so are you kind of doing like a mix of like writing and freestyling a little bit? Like once you've figured out your cadence and kind of your flow, is that your like process at that point?
Yeah. So I'll just kind of spit to the song, and I'll be like, oh, that was dope, and I'll like write that down, or and then I'll like go back over what I said, and if I'm like, this doesn't like feel right, or this doesn't sound like me, or like anything like that, I'm like, all right, I'll take it out. Yeah. Replace it with something better. Yeah. But I it's really hard because like you said, you can't recreate a moment. So it's, if I'm gonna write a song, I gotta write it like then and that, like in that moment. I can't come back to it the next day because it's just, you can't recreate that energy.
That's something I always find interesting about, well, hip hop artists in general, because, or I guess more specifically, because like a lot of times for like more traditional music, like they have to go to a studio, they have to have the soundproof walls, they have to have preamps and whatnot. But like you could record a hit song in like a living room with like the technology that is available to hip hop. So is that something? Are you a fan of like going like to the studio? Can you record in the living room, like to get that kind of raw energy that you want?
Honestly, I kind of just bring it with me. Like, it doesn't really matter where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so my attitude and the way I attack the song. Because like there are some flows where you just kind of want to be like laid back and almost be a little late on the beat type stuff.
Yeah.
But there's other times when you need to have that aggression, you have to have that energy, because you have to create like that feeling for the person that's going to be listening to it.
Definitely.
But I think I can kind of do it anywhere. It's just where I see myself as far as like how I want the song to finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you already have an idea when you're making music.
Yeah, a predetermined, maybe not predetermined, but your brain subconsciously kind of knows like where it's gonna take you. We can't really do this interview without bringing up the music and sports balance. You already brought it up as you said. You kind of have like at one point, maybe not purposefully or consciously chose sports and music took a little bit of a backseat, but you are now balancing both, right?
Yeah.
Still playing sports, still playing football, and still doing music.
Yeah, it's a weird shift, because there was definitely a time when music was like, I mean, like I thought I was a hooper for the longest time, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like I don't even play football. I don't even play basketball anymore.
Yeah.
Like I only play football now. But for the longest time, I thought I was going to the league. And I was like, I'm gonna hit this growth spurt. I'm just gonna keep working until it happens. And that's what's gonna go.
Yeah,
and
same here, man. If I was 6'9", I wouldn't be stepping in this room right here.
But now football ended up, it didn't get me to college, but I had the opportunity to play it in college, so I was like, I'll do it. And then I started getting back into music in college, because I just had, it's weird, especially in college now, to think that I ever like went to school from 8 to 3. Like I'm like, bro, I can't believe I was in the same place for that long.
That is kind of fucked up to think about. You just like ship your kid off on a
Yeah.
bust, and you're like, all right, I'll see you at 3 o'clock.
And then
or
they
4
pick you
o'clock,
up,
whatever.
and then they're mad because they had to work, but like I had to do shit too. So,
Yeah, yeah.
But now music's kind of like an escape for me from like the real world. So that's what I kind of use it for. It's like a place where nobody can tell me what to do and shit like that. Yeah. So
how do you balance? I mean, like, because if you play a collegiate level sport, it doesn't matter D1, D2, D3, NAIA, whatever. Like that is a large chunk of your life that you have to dedicate to that. For so, can you speak a little bit on how you balance that?
So, most college overall, I'm sure you can like attest to this. It's time management. So like you're gonna have to lose something if you want to do something else. Like you're gonna have to lose sleep. You're gonna have to lose your social time. You're gonna have to lose your hours at work. You have to lose something if you want to do it. And so I kind of found ways to like slide music into my my day. Yeah. So like driving to work, I would like play the song over the aux and write right there. Like or if I was like at football, I'd be in the locker room chilling before practice, play a beat, and like people think I'm like getting hyped for the game or whatever. But I just kind of like I sacrificed a lot of social time. I'm not a very like crazy go out to like bars type guy anyway. But weekends after work, I'm in the stew. Like that's where it is. Yeah. I try to go as often as possible. So you got to lose something to gain something else, and you just got to realize what you're investing in and what's worth the sacrifice for
real shit.
You brought up something that I actually have in my notes here. Is I think like some of your music, I think would be like perfect pregame in the locker room hype music. Is that like a conscious decision that you've made when making some songs?
Honestly, I make music with as little as possible in mind. Like it's just how it comes out.
Yeah.
And I'll have songs which are a little more chill. Like you can hear, like you can like see yourself like driving down the highway at like 80 with nobody else on the road. But then there's definitely the songs where like you want to like ram your head through a wall. But I'm just kind of it just happens. Yeah.
Who do you think your music is personally for?
Personally,
Like what kid? Like who is it for?
to be honest, I feel like, especially with some of the new music I'm making,
Yeah.
I don't have like a general target.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's good and bad at the time, where like some people that'll like one song won't like the other songs.
Yeah.
But it's also like a wider audience, you know?
Yeah.
So I try not to like box myself in, because I don't want to be like that guy that like, oh, he does like screamo rap, like that's him.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, he likes workout music. Like, I don't want to be that dude.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard to escape those like narratives that the internet makes on you.
Yeah, true.
That's what happens. They want to characterize things as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we've talked about the whole thing of like categorizing music on this show before, and like, I don't know, that's just human nature, bro.
Yeah.
People are just gonna like have to try.
Yeah,
and
but the real ones, like the real fans at the end of the day, they're gonna listen to you.
yeah.
It's just those listeners that heard your one hit and then like kind of they float from artist to artist.
Yeah. Do you think the work ethic of playing like a collegiate sport or just sports in general translates to you like getting off work and going to the studio? Do you think that, because when we had Ducey Gold in here, that's one of the things that he kind of kept like bringing up, was like he treats music like the competition, like the sport. So like, and as we all know, if anybody's ever played an organized sport, you know the work ethic and what it takes to like, you know, practice and become better. Do you think that translates to you making music too?
Yeah, I think definitely, like you were saying, the competitive edge part. Like, I'm super competitive. That's why I like sports. It's like I like to go out there and like, no homo, like beat the dude in front of me. Like, pause. But like, that's how it is, bro.
I'm sorry, I'm only laughing because you said it before you said you were like, oh fuck,
yeah,
I'm about to say this.
I
Right
had to
here.
get it out there. But like, nah. So when I make music, I kind of bring the same energy to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, so there's 1,000 people in this state alone, in this city alone, trying to make music.
Mhm.
What's gonna separate me from those people when a listener
Right.
comes by? You know what I mean?
Right.
What do you think does separate you from everybody else around here?
I'm trying, like, I don't want to like throw like no like this is.
Don't throw diss, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what do you like?
Yeah.
What
You're
qualities?
confident
What
in
qualities do you
yourself,
think
though.
that you have
I
that
think
people will like?
That's a big deal right there. Is the confidence.
Mhm.
It's like I
agree.
When I get on the mic, I think I'm the shit. Like that's how it is. And I feel like if you go into anything in life and you don't think like you're the best at it, then why are you really doing it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get that when I listen to your music. Like you
Yeah.
saying that, like you saying you think you're the shit when you're on the mic. I think I'm the shit when I'm listening to your music. I think that's what I think. Going back to the question when I said who you think your music is for, I think like I've always thought that you've had like on the mic you have crazy confidence and crazy just like I don't know, just a higher aura about you.
Yeah.
And
You got music that like when you like walk in the room, after you listen to an E song, you sit up a little bit straight and fuck the chest out a
yeah,
little
exactly.
bit. I have it's still a sports question, but it's a little bit sports adjacent. I've seen over and over again, like on your IG stories, when people ask you questions, you say Derrick Rose is your biggest inspiration.
100%.
You even said something along the lines of like everything you could ever learn, you can learn from D Rose.
Yeah.
Now, I think as also a D Rose fan, I understand what you mean by that. But for people who don't know who D Rose is, or they only know him as like the guy who scored 50 points on the Timberwolves or whatever, like what is it about Derrick Rose that like brings so much inspiration out of you?
Man, I feel like D Rose's whole life is like watching being a huge D Rose fan, like straight out of Memphis. I was a fan, bro. And like I remember watching him play fucking at Simeon on like YouTube and shit. But it's everything about his life is like literally everything there is to experience. Like there's the highs, there's the lows, there's the perseverance, there's the people counting you out.
Yeah.
Like it's literally, it's all there.
Yeah.
And you just have to like see it and like notice it. And I mean, fuck, he's had so many injuries and he keeps going. And like it's almost like a metaphor to life. It's like shit's gonna happen. Shit's not gonna go your way. It's like you either stop or you find a way to adapt and keep fucking going.
It's pretty crazy to Derrick Rose literally So he's the youngest MVP,
Ever.
the most valuable player in the same time where we have LeBron, KD, and all these people in 2011. So he's experienced the highest high, and then comes back and experiences the lowest low, and comes back and experiences the lowest low, and comes back and experiences the lowest low. And he is still in the NBA, still giving valuable minutes. Me and my buddy Ian were talking the other day, like, about how I think, like, you obviously can't put Derrick Rose in the top point guards of all time just because you just can't. He just hasn't played enough games, like, and it's not his fault. You just can't. But like, potential to be one of the best that we've never seen become one of the best. I think Derrick Rose is high on that list.
Bro, there was, like, honestly, if healthy Derrick Rose, like, I know there's like a lot of LeBron fans that are giving me shit about this, but like healthy Derrick Rose, bro, I don't think LeBron gets to the finals that many times.
I swear to God, the only teams that were standing a chance were the Celtics and the Bulls in that late 2000s, early 2010s kind of era.
I remember watching the Bulls, like, they would get LeBron pissed off.
Yeah.
It's like Joakim Noah would be like clapping in his face and shit, and it was.
That team was so much fun to watch.
It was.
No, bro. We're not going to turn this into a basketball podcast, but in case anybody wasn't alive or not alive, if you weren't alive then and you're listening to this, welcome. You're a 7-year-old, but like, anybody who wasn't really paying attention to the NBA back then, you should go back and watch some of those old 2010 through like 2012 Derrick Rose games. Oh my God, the man was nasty. But I just find that I wanted to ask you that just because I thought it was so interesting. I've never really looked at D Rose's life kind of like as a metaphor to kind of like boost your own confidence. Is that kind of how you see it, really?
Well, it's more so as like, I kind of compare my life to some people's, and I try, like, it's not a good thing. You don't want to compare yourself to, you need to be happy with who you are, blah 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 blah. But like, I see moments in my life, and then I look at like things that happen to him, and I'm like, bro, like, if he can bounce back from that, I can bounce back from this. Like, there's no excuse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like what really separates me and him. It's like we bleed the same, you know what I mean? We both wake up, we both put on our shoes and stuff the exact same way. It's like, he just wants it more. So like, and if you want to get anywhere in life, you can't let somebody want it more than you.
Yeah.
And you both got injured too, right?
Yeah, bro. Both tore ACLs. I think it's honestly, it was supposed to happen. I think it was supposed to happen, bro. It's like,
did you tear your ACL like in game?
No.
Oh, fuck.
That's the worst part about it.
That's why I asked it. I was hoping you would say yes, and I'd be like, oh, well, you were in the game.
We weren't even playing.
Can I ask what happened? How was it?
So I was doing some like agility work, and I like hyperextended, and my like knee buckled, and I was like, all right, whatever. And I kept doing the shit. And then there was like a moment like 2 days later, and I was like, bro, my knee is huge right now. Like, it's swollen.
You didn't even feel it.
No, bro. So like, it buckled, and I was like, all right, cool. And just like finished the workout.
Yeah.
And
that's so gnarly.
It's weird because like, that's not the normal way that you would like tear an ACL.
Yeah.
So just like planning and twisting, things like that. So
exactly.
like, I didn't even expect it. But I was like, oh, it's probably gonna be like a bone bruise or something like that. And they kept on like, they all do this like test where they like take your leg and slide it forward because that's what your ACL keeps it from doing.
Oh,
and they would all do like, they'd all make the same face, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I knew.
No.
It's so shitty. But
tough.
Yeah, that's why I always like that. The ACL tear, like, I would say like 9 times out of 10 when I ask people, it wasn't in game, and it was from them landing weird or jumping up weird, that plant and twist that gets it. Damn, that's so gnarly. I knew this one guy, as a side note, who tore his Achilles playing soccer on the beach, and it was like right after KD tore his Achilles, and he's like, if you look at the stats, it's like men from ages 27 to 35 engaging in physical activity without stretching and this and that and and it's just like that the Achilles and the ACL tear are just like 2 of the most devastating injuries, but also like most common injuries in sports. Like, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like at this point they have like the ACL procedure and everything down pat,
there
right?
are surgeons that like do ACL like procedures like 600 times a year.
Oh fuck!
Like they're
That is a
Jesus.
crazy
It's
number.
common.
Holy shit!
it's common, bro. Like
That's
it's
insane.
and it's weird because I didn't realize how common it was until it happened to me.
Right.
Because like
right.
for the longest time, I'm like living my life, especially in the sports world, like hearing like ACL and thinking like, damn, like that's career ending. Like, this guy's not gonna be the same.
You think
Straight
some
up.
like a devastating injury like that'll never happen to you?
No, I feel like
until it does.
Exactly.
You know?
And you're just like, bro, what? Like, what was I really doing to have torn my ACL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So all right, okay. My sport. I feel like I do this sometimes.
You
So
do
I'm
this.
like, let me get 10 minutes of sports talk in.
Yeah.
and then we'll come back
sports
to the music.
podcast.
Yo, hey, I'm Soul Serum Sports Network. That's gonna be tough to say. We'll develop.
Yeah.
That. We'll work on it. So I say this in the best way possible, but I think you're a great punchline rapper. Like, I think that term sometimes gets used ill-fitting.
yeah.
Like when people are like, "Oh, he's just a punchline rapper." I'm like, "What do you like?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? What does that mean? He has dope lyrics? Like I don't know." But I think you're a really great punchline rapper. I'd be like, "I keep a stash, Steve Harvey. No effing with Brody. He keep a Beretta." Like things like that. What inspires you to rap like that? And do you have any favorite kind of quote unquote like punchline rappers?
Man, to be honest, it's hard not to be influenced by like Wayne. It's like
I'm glad you said that because that was the feeling that I was getting
yeah,
from
it's like,
that.
so like there's like an entire chunk in my life where like Lil Wayne owned like the entire genre of like rap and hip-hop.
Yeah.
So,
All of
I
us.
think a
like-
lot of people share that
yeah,
with
so
you.
like it's hard not to throw any inspiration to him. But
Yeah.
as far as like where it comes from, I think I try to find clever ways to say like simple shit.
Mhm.
That's really what, because I mean, I try to make everything reflect me. So
Yeah.
like I overdo simple shit. So when it comes to like music, I try to overdo like simple shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. Just find clever ways to say it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it because I think that the "I keep a stash" Steve Harvey line is actually like that's a good example of that. That is honestly very simple line.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing too complex about that. Like, but the double entendre of like stash and then Steve Harvey has like a all-time great
Yeah.
mustache. You know, I think that's interesting. The simplicity of it is simplicity something that you keep that you try to implement in all of your music?
I'm starting to.
Mm-hmm.
So for a super long time, and Tanner can tell you about this, brother. There was no chorus to any of the
Yeah.
song.
I would be telling him, bro, you need to stop doing this no hook shit. Like you're going crazy. You really are going nuts. But like you gotta have something for us to rap with you. You know?
True.
Something for us to take that, sticks in your head.
Yeah.
Then makes them go back to it and then learn all the bars. You know what I'm saying?
Like that's if you want people to be like stuck with your music, you want it to be catchy. It's got to be simple.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
how it's got to be.
Not that the goal that it should be
No,
only
like-
catchy, but like I
Right,
don't know.
right.
At that time, he was just doing like machine gun, just like
It's
all over
very-
the beat,
that's,
bro.
that's the Lil Wayne inspo as
Yeah.
well too.
Well,
Just-
it's like
It's a
you gotta
balance.
Make music for moods. That's
Mhm.
how it is, and it's hard to like cruise with 3 minutes of straight bars. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah, definitely. The as I said earlier, the first like impression I had of you after figuring out who you were was at the Soul Serum house show, and I like have a vivid like specific memory of like, all right, so if we're looking at the stage head on, you're here. I'm like somewhere in like this range, like looking towards you and JD on stage going crazy to Duffy season. And like, I think is that not a good example of why having a chorus in your song like is
Facts.
important?
That
That song went stupid.
It's
at
so
the house
funny you
show.
say that because now, like in my mind, like Duffy Season is like a distant memory
It is-
in a
it
way
is.
because,
It's
but
a
like
older
that was
song.
like Duffy Season was like a bigger like local song that was
Mhm.
just like played like a lot.
Yeah,
and at
for
our
sure.
and especially at the first Soul Serum show, the Area 513 show, like that song went fucking nuts. It just I don't know. I have a soft place in my heart for that song. Even the promo video that John made for for Duffy Season, like the hype around that song was like something. It was a local moment for real.
It was definitely it was uncharted territory for me for sure. So
Yeah.
now I never had that much hype around a song before.
Yeah.
But it's because people could like, you know, sing it. Like
Yeah.
that's what it was.
What drives like the energy that you have at shows? Because I saw the house show in person, but I've seen videos of like the Area 513, and like that show also had really crazy energy and people were going insane. But I think like the more that I've kind of like looked at this, I think it is dependent a lot on the person on the stage to implement the energy so the crowd can go crazy. So what drives you to have that energy on stage?
Honestly, it's just like knowing that I have to set the mood. It's like if I go out there and I act like there's 8 people in the crowd, then people are gonna know there's 8 people in the fucking crowd.
True.
So like
True.
I try to attack every situation like I'm already up. You know what I mean? So like if I'm performing at a show with 20 people, I'm gonna act like there's 10,000 in there. If there's 10,000, I'm gonna act the same way.
Yeah.
But as an artist, the way you say things has so much importance. I don't think people actually like pay attention to it. But when someone's listening to you, they're getting all of their keys, their perspective, all of that from you.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. I think that's why visuals are such a big deal. But if I want somebody to turn up, then they have to see me turning up. Because like then they're not gonna perceive it as a song that you like turn up to. Yeah. Because it's like a lot of art, it's based on opinion. So I need to like show them like this is what it is. This is how I feel when it comes on. Like this is how you should feel too. And then it just kind of happens.
And then it's all fun and games from there. Once you have the crowd, is it cool to like have a crowd like in the palm of your hand?
It is pretty dope to have that many people. Like, because there was the longest time I used to do like an L Gang chant at the end of like every show, and everybody would always do it, and it was super dope because it was like that moment where you're like you'll look back in the future and be like, damn, I can't believe all these people are doing it, because there was a time and there was like 10. Yeah. And
so you've gained, honestly, probably, I would assume at least, you've probably gained a lot of fans since like we haven't been able to do shows, because Pop My Shit came out in March, right? I think, or was it a late?
Nah, it was February? I think it was May.
Yeah, wait, really?
It
was it that far of this year, right?
Yeah, it was May of this year. Oh, because I remember that was the first. I think it was like the first video we did after Interfusion came out.
Yeah, no, you're right. That does make sense.
Yeah,
but
that video went crazy for some reason. I mean, the video was
Pop
sick.
My Shit video.
Yeah, but like my mindset.
That was the first video that I said it on one of the other podcasts, but that was the first video that I saw John's green screen work, and I was like, man, fuck this guy. God damn it. How the fuck did he do that so well? But that video. So, but my point in this though is that like, that song has performed the best out of all of your songs, and I gotta imagine you've gained a lot more fans since then. Yeah. Like, so what's it? How excited are you to come back for shows? You know, to have even
Pop My Shit yet?
Yeah, you haven't even performed Pop My Shit.
I am stupid excited for shows, because there was a point when I was doing shows where I was like, bro, I'm tired of it because I'm just doing the same songs. Yeah. So like now that there's like a chance that I can do shows and perform a song that I've never performed before, it's gonna be super dope. Yeah. I'm geeking for it for sure.
And also kind of along these same lines is you've released a couple of singles this year, but I noticed that we haven't gotten an E the Prophet project in a while, and I'm not asking you to say any names or dates or anything, but I am just curious as what the next E the Prophet project looks like.
Right. So the next project is definitely going to be a lot of versatility. Okay. I'm not like singing or nothing crazy, but I'm switching it up. To be honest with you, the reason there hasn't been talk of an E the Prophet project yet is because I just feel like I want to get to a place in my career where like I have enough, like a solid enough fan base, enough growth for me to like put that out and show people different sides. Because right now people need to know what to expect for a little bit. But yeah, definitely it's coming for sure.
So, I mean, you're putting a lot of versatility into this project. Do you feel like you've been making the same song or something? Like, what do you? Nah. So why do you want to be versatile in this one?
I just kind of want to show that I can do different things. Like different flows, different types of rap. It's a huge genre of music. And first and foremost, I'm a hip hop fan. You know what I mean? Like, so I'll listen to any sub form of it or anything like that. But if I want to hop on like some 90s like boom bap beat and like spit some like shit, then that's what I want to do, and I want to be able to show people that I can do that. But it's more so just what I feel like I can use to showcase my best abilities. So that's kind of how it comes.
You're working on the highlight tape.
Yeah.
Basically putting all your best plays together and everything. Tanner, I've been hogging the questions here. Do you have anything?
Nah, I mean, dude, you're doing good. I'm gonna chime in.
I gotta okay, I have a couple of bonus questions that are personal for me, and I am coming back to the sports thing. Who's your player comp? Now, since you said that you thought that since you were originally a hooper, I will also take a hooper player comp. But who's your football player comp though?
Damn.
See you coming off the edge. See who am I thinking of when he's coming off the edge charging?
Bro, honestly, it's it's hard to like say.
Yeah.
Because the dudes that I want to like compare myself to are fucking unreal. Like, you know,
well, you should. No, I want to hear it.
Like, but no, I feel like coming off the edge at least, I got a little Kalil Mac in me.
Yeah, that's that is a scary man. Have you ever watched any of the mic'd up stuff with like Kalil Mac?
Bro,
that guy's scary, and I mean that in the best way possible. Yeah. But like, I could not imagine like play action, fake handoff, and like turning, and Kalil Mac's charging at me at like full speed. That's a you're getting fucking rocked at that point. You know,
that's dangerous.
I have a bonus question. How was your experience with the Polar Pod?
Oh fuck, that was bro. It was actually. So I had tore my rotator. I'm injury prone as fuck, but I had tore my rotator cuff. Was doing some therapy or something like that with one of the trainers at my school, and they're like, "Hey, you've been coming in here pretty consistently to do your rehab and stuff like that. Would you want to be able to do something for the news?" And I was like, I mean, sure, whatever. I didn't think they were gonna like have me talk or anything.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, you're basically just gonna act like you have a heat stroke. And I was like, damn. All right. So what are you guys gonna do? So they're like, you're just gonna get in this little bag and we're just gonna put some ice water in it. And I was like, all right.
For context, let me just put this out there. As I'm doing research for the interview, like I'm like searching like crazy things. I'm like in the crevices of the internet here. And like one of the like only like non-music things I could like find was this bit on Channel 12 or something, where basically what it looks like to me is they put E in this like big like sleeping bag. Like it's just a big insulated sleeping bag, and they just pour ice cold water in it, and you're like, it's like in a coffin like this. But I wanted to bring it up because I wanted to ask. I'm glad you said it, but I wanted to ask if you actually were having a heat stroke or if they were making you act. Because the way that there's like one clip in it where like a lady's like, she's like talking to you like you're having a heat stroke, and you're just like on the ground, just like, no, I'm cool. Like, I'm just chilling. And then they're like, get in the bag.
Bro, there was a time during that moment when I thought I was drowning. And it was like, I was actually like shook, but it was on camera. So I can't scream or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there letting water go up my nose and shit. It was, it was terrifying.
It was just like such a weird thing for me to like stroll upon, like doing research. I'm like, why is he in a sleeping bag for? It's very creepy. So we're about reaching our time here. What is next for Either Prophet in these next couple of months? What can we expect to see from you?
So I actually got a video coming out pretty soon. I can't really drop any date. Probably next month.
Okay.
For sure. Single probably this month maybe.
Okay.
Or early next month. A couple more singles and see where I am based on like the growth.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get a tape out. So
okay,
that's the goal.
Well, y'all heard the man. Y'all better go stream the song, watch the video when it comes out, because I think we all want to Either Prophet tape. Yeah, I'm looking at all the cameras for that shit.
Facts.
Is there anything that we haven't touched, that we haven't talked about, that's fresh on your mind or anything?
No.
You're good.
Give us a small what's like a hobby or like something that you do that like people that listen to your music that might not expect that you do like in your free time?
Oh, fuck. I fuck with painting, bro.
For real?
Yeah.
Tight.
I paint.
What do you paint?
So I paint shoes. I have canvases. I like to like just kind of like chill out and paint like scenes.
Either Prophet Bob Ross collab coming soon.
Nah, bro,
that would be a crazy. That would be. I don't know, I might have to cut this out, but that would be a sick music video though. Is like you in a Bob Ross costume, like painting and like turning back, and where he would like talk to the camera, you're like rapping instead. I don't know. Hey, y'all better not steal this fucking $1 million music video idea, by the way.
That's fire though. I didn't even know that. So there you all go, people. The Prophet's a painter too.
You paint scenes like landscapes,
landscapes.
Nice.
I fuck with it, bro. Just I don't know, artists in different mediums.
Is it like a place where you find peace, or is it or is that what it is for you, or is it just like another creative outlet?
It started off as a creative outlet, but it's just so fucking calming, bro.
Yeah,
it's hard to be like pissed off about shit when you're painting a fucking like
facts.
hill. Like
that's facts.
It's so hard.
Yeah, that's such a funny way to put it. This fucking shrub, damn it. The shading isn't right on this tree.
Nah,
fuck.
Man, I think everybody has to find something that's good for your mental health, bro. It's super. People sleep on that shit so much.
No cap.
We talked about this a little bit before the podcast, but I think that's one thing that the pandemic has affected me. I don't want to say it's affected me in a positive way, but one positive outcome that I have experienced because of the pandemic is like finding those things for your mental health that bring you peace. Like even if it's something as simple as like, I don't know, like for me, like I don't know, there's a playlist on Spotify called like Happy Jazz, and that shit like goes for me like that. I don't know what it does to my brain, but it works really well. But like it helps bring the peace. It's not doing anything like crazy. It's not remapping my life, but it makes me like.
Do you bring the jazz hands out?
No.
Nah, I feel like
real jazz and jazz hands, very different things here.
And like and I don't know, just in the world we have now, people live way too fast. I think it's just as important to like chill out and enjoy your time as it is to invest it to like become successful.
Absolutely.
So. No cap.
And that I think is a great place to end this episode. I want to remind everybody, if you haven't already, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Soul Serum TV. Subscribe to it. Like the video. Go stream all of E the Prophet's music.
Go follow E the Prophet.
For sure.
Go follow E the Prophet. We'll have the @ up on his name. And with all of this shameless self-promotion being said, I am, as always, oh fuck, I stumbled over that. I'm gonna edit this part out. I, as always, am your host, Clay Bonine.
I'm your co-host, Tanner Mavis.
E the Prophet.
Yes, sir. Another classic episode. Appreciate you coming on, bro.
Sure.
Deuces.